Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching CETP channel. We will explain what the CETPartnership is and what's in for you, whether you be from a company, a government, an academic institution, or whatsoever. My name is Ludwig Karg. I'm the head of the support team for the Clean Energy Transition Partnership. Today, I will guide you and our expert speakers through the first part of the show. Overall, this event has three parts, as you can see on this slide. In part one, we introduce you to the CETPartnership. When you made it to here, just listen, take notes, sit back. After a coffee break, then in part two, it will be more interactive. You will meet the funding partners in parallel sessions. Then in part three, it will be dedicated to meeting potential partners for a project application. So stay with us, but now let's start. Before I hand over to Michael Hübner, our coordinator, let's watch an overview video.
You cannot miss this event. If you want to successfully realize your project with funding from the Clean Energy Transition Partnership in 2023. You will not only get important information, but also get the opportunity to start the matchmaking with potential partners and public funders. Now is the time. You are an industry, company or research organization. You are ideator, developer or yourself in need of a clean energy solution. All co-creators are invited. Together we can provide innovation to make the clean energy transition happen. With a broad variety of topics from clean energy technologies to integrated system solutions, as well as with participants from all over Europe and beyond, this is one of the largest public RTDI funding networks to realize your ideas and concepts. However, the Clean Energy Transition Partnership is not only providing funding, it also provides a platform to accelerate the learning from local and regional to European and global level. It provides a framework to get your solution recognized and to jointly contribute to speeding up the transition. Join the event and the community.
Welcome to our information event, the Clean Energy Transition Partnership. What is in it for me? My name is Michael Hübner. I'm working for the Austrian Ministry of Climate Action and I'm the coordinator of the Clean Energy Transition Partnership. What is the Clean Energy Transition Partnership? It is a multilateral collaboration of public funders in the field of energy innovation. It enables more than 50 national and regional RTD program owners and managers from more than 30 countries in Europe, but also beyond Europe, to align their priorities and to pool national and regional funding of annually 100 to 130 million euro. Additionally, it receives and leverages co-funding from the European Commission. With this means, we are funding transnational research, technological development, demonstration, and innovation projects. This partnership builds on all the former energy-related ERA-nets that many of you have already successfully received funding from. It supports you as an industry, an energy company, or an infrastructure provider, or other organization to find development partners and funding to realize your future energy solution. Together with you, we want to empower the clean energy transition and contribute to the European goal of becoming the first climate neutral continent by 2050. Now, how are we going to do this? How are we going to support you? We as funding partners are working together in thematic configuration of program owners and managers according to specific challenges for the energy transition and according to the related target groups and diverse innovation ecosystems. We are defining topics for the annual joint calls for RTDI projects according to the actual burning challenges in the different technology areas. We are also supporting and facilitating the matchmaking of industries, energy companies, infrastructure providers, communities and regions, and others that are in need of a solution with partners from the solution providers, technology companies, innovators, research institutes from all the involved countries and regions. We also are planning to work actively with the funded projects in order to create and share strategic knowledge from the level of regional initiatives up to the European knowledge base for the energy transition. By that, we will together give your project a voice and make your solution visible on the European and global level. We will actively support you to maximize the impact of your project by finding follow-up financing, qualify for other programs, or get in touch with more potential implementers of your solution to work on scaling up and replication. In this event, we will introduce you step by step in the offerings of the Clean Energy Transition Partnership, how you can receive funding for your project, how you can get support, and how you can get involved in the activities of this community. The call for projects 2023 is coming in September. However, now is the time to start thinking about your project idea and moreover to start finding partners in other countries to collaborate on your solution. Use our matchmaking platform and the draft call text on our website and start your preparation now. Good luck for a successful application.
Thank you, Michael, for this introduction. Yes, people, it's time to start now, and it will be worth it. Watch and listen to people that have done such projects before.
If you want to shape a sustainable energy future, do it with Clean Energy Transition Partnership, just as we have been successfully doing since 7 years. Let me give you an example of our successful story with Rural Intelligent Grid project, in which a digital tool using virtual reality was developed for technical, economic and spatial planning of microgrids in rural areas, and was successfully tested in 2 municipalities in Germany and Poland. These solutions from local trial towards European energy transition was recognized by the ISGAN Award of Excellence with a great award ceremony in Vancouver, together with Eranet's Smart Energy System representatives. So if you have a great innovative idea, want to develop or try your solution at Living Labs, want to combine science, research and industry, then join CETP and be a part of the family.
When we want to create impact, we need to communicate and collaborate with partners in other areas, environments, and climate zones.
When working with people in our past projects, which now do CET partnerships, I remember best that we could adapt fast to our industrial needs, validate concepts in an agile way, and test the prototypes with our hard and software stack. This approach is what I like best from our Solar Airnet projects.
Yes, people said it. They like the funds, of course, but they also like what they get in addition. But that was the past. Now let's listen what's gonna come. We have some small presentations that will be interspersed into our show to get your eyes and your hands and your brains and your hearts on the topics that we will cover in CETPartnership.
We want to realize a power system that is fully built on renewable energy. We need improved technologies that are able to convert and store diverse forms of energy.
In order to minimize land use and environmental impact, they need to do that in a highly efficient manner.
And we need innovative processes that allow to produce these technologies with a highly optimized use of material and resources.
The Transition Initiative 2's mission is to develop a portfolio of zero-emission power technologies and solutions based on renewable energy sources as the backbone of the future energy system.
Only by this we will manage an energy transition with European technologies and solutions.
Being able to deliver carbon-neutral electricity accessible to all, contributing to the resilience of the system and of Europe's security of the energy supply.
Transition Initiative 2 Enhanced Zero-Emission Power Systems is dealing with these topics and develops respective call topics and accompanying activities.
You and me together, we could be anything, anything.
Michael, Raquel said it. They have learned a lot from previous initiatives like the Aeronets and others. What did you really learn when you built the CET partnership? What did you learn from the other initiatives?
Well, I think it was 11 pre-existing Aeronets brought on the table really a lot of experience in very different technology areas. They all have built a community of active research institutes, developers, and innovators in their field, and this all is brought now together in the Clean Energy Transition Partnership to form a strong collective community and bring the transition forward.
And obviously they learned also the gaps that need to be researched, and from there we derived the topics. Let's see another short teaser video, in this case with Åge Stangeland.
Carbon capture and use can play an important role in decarbonization of industrial processes and also along with the development and use of renewable-based fuels.
Global warming is a huge challenge for all of us, and we need to apply all the tools in our toolbox to mitigate global warming. And one of them is CO2 capture, storage and utilization, CCUS.
Carbon storage is considered a critical option in the portfolio of solutions available to combat climate change.
Because it allows for significant reductions in CO2 emissions from fossil-based systems, bridging to a clean and sustainable energy future.
However, a number of questions still remain to be answered.
And this is what we are addressing in our transition initiative, together with hydrogen and renewable fuels. This is very important to make sure that we reach global climate targets.
You and me together, we could be anything, anything.
Michael, it's me from the editorial room because Ludwig is not on stage at the moment because his camera left off. So, but the good point is, Michael, we don't have to do something complicated. We just have to tell the people that now somebody tries to take the challenge in 60 seconds to tell us why to be a part of it. Why should you join? And hopefully after the 60 seconds, Ludwig has brought back his camera. Now see 60 seconds challenge with Frederick Lundström, okay? There we go.
The question is, why should you apply to this call and not other calls, maybe on national level, on your national funding program? Anyone who applies for a project in a research and innovation call, they are of course looking for funding, and we are offering funding. But what more we offer is actually the network, and this is really important for you. In this call, you can join forces with partners from other countries. It can be a research organization that have the knowledge or the innovation that you are in need of, or they can have a marketplace. It can be a company or a utility that have a marketplace for your ideas. In this call, you can collaborate together. This is why we in this partnership have connected more than 30 funding programs in Europe. And we're also reaching out to partners beyond Europe, because the energy transition, of course, is not only happening in Europe, it's happening all over the world. We are connecting to funders overseas in the US, in Canada, and we're also discussing collaboration with partners from Asia.
He did it in 60 seconds, and you have heard that it is possible to do things in a short time. Before we give an overview of what's going on in the next call, Michael Hübner will do that. Let's see another set of important challenges. Let's see a teaser with Gerdi Brembock.
There is one important thing to know when talking about the challenges of the Transition Initiative 4 on heating and cooling.
Do you know that 50% of our energy demand in Europe is for heating and cooling, for buildings and for industry?
Improved technologies and systems need to be developed, enabling 100% climate-neutral heating and cooling by 2050.
That's why we're looking for innovations and working to get these innovations accelerated for Europe.
We need to think about solutions and storage options for the heating demand peak in winter and the increasing cooling demand peak in summer.
The Transition Initiative 4 Efficient Zero-Emission Heating and Cooling Solutions is focusing on this challenge. In this regard, it develops call topics and accompanying activities.
For Europe, for a climate-neutral Europe in 2050.
You and me together, we could be anything, anything.
Yes, in these short teaser videos, like the one you have just seen, and the other ones we are going to show during this event, we introduce you to the challenges of the Clean Energy Transition Partnership, of the Clean Energy Transition, that have been identified in our strategic research and innovation agenda, which can also be found on our website. Now, we want to give you a condensed overview of the resulting technology and system integration topics that will particularly covered in this year's call for proposals.
A major goal of the Clean Energy Transition Partnership is to initiate and fund transnational innovation projects to facilitate and accelerate the energy transition.
In different thematic configurations, the so-called transition initiatives, the funding partners define topics for each year's call for proposals.
This is an overview of the call topics under preparation for 2023.
Clean energy technologies.
Power production technologies, storage and system integration.
Heating and cooling technologies, including storage.
Hydrogen and renewable fuels.
Carbon capture, utilization, and storage, CCUS.
Geothermal energy technologies.
Energy systems and networks.
Direct current technologies for power networks.
Integrated regional energy systems.
Integrated industrial energy systems.
Clean energy integration in the built environment.
Detailed information can be found in the call text on our website.
You and me together, we could be anything, anything.
Well, check it out if there is something in for you. More detailed information about the thematic structure of the call for proposals and the particular call topics you will be asked to address will be given in the second part of this event. When registering to this event on our matchmaking platform, you have been asked to give us some information about your areas of interest. According to your profile, we will provide you information about upcoming thematic events or other activities that are of particular interest for you. And that was it from my side, Ludwig.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael, for giving us this overview. You heard it. Later this event, you will learn more about the topics. But now let's see the people that will make it happen. The call, I mean. Before I invite a representative from our call management, let's see another input. What is the content of CETPartnership?
Buildings can help a lot if we want to achieve our transmission goals.
Did you know that 35% of the EU's greenhouse gas emissions are coming from the building sector, or that 30% of the global energy final demand are related to energy consumption in buildings?
But how can buildings become an active element in the energy system?
How can zero carbon technologies become a standard element in existing or new buildings?
How can we enhance the capability to efficiently produce, store and use energy in the residential sector?
And also in public and commercial buildings, particularly, for example, in service and mobility infrastructure buildings?
This is precisely the topic of this transition initiative.
The Transition Initiative 7, Integration in the Built Environment, is focusing on answering these questions.
You and me together, we could be anything, anything.
Yes, buildings are important, but managing a call is also important. We welcome Maria Enge from Nordic Energy Research. She is responsible for the call management in CETPartnership. You will make it. How, Maria?
Thank you. Well, I will show you now how the call, or the general requirements of the call, what they are and how you should do to perform a submission in the end. So as we have heard before, a lot of funding agencies got together for this 2023 call. It's about 40 at the moment and still counting. There are about 30 countries joining, and as you see, it's from all over Europe, but also some from America, Canada, and USA. These are, as you see, it's also a draft sign, which means that the total list of funding agencies joining the call is not set yet. There are still some from the partnership coming, but also we hope for more organizations outside the partnership to join the 2023 call. So the calls are a bit different than normal Horizon Europe, for example, calls, in that there are funding coming from the funding agencies directly to the partners in the partnerships, in the proposals. So there is both agreements, reporting and payments done directly between the national funding agency to the partner in the projects that is funded. That could be, this is just an example, of course, there could be any of the funding organizations that I showed before, in the picture I showed before. And all these funding agencies are co-funded by the European Union. So there is funding both from the European Union and from the local, national or regional funding organizations to each partner of the consortium. There will also be some kind of reporting directly to the partnership, but the main contact is between the funding agencies and the partners in the consortium. So the general information for the call is that it is made in 2 stages. It's a pre-proposal where the consortium submit a proposal, and then some are invited to the second stage, the full proposal stage. But the pre-proposal stage is mandatory to come to the full proposal stage. There are 3 levels of eligibility criteria and requirements. There are transnational eligibility criteria, which is mandatory for all partners and the consortium. There are call module requirements, which is found in the call module is, by the way, the topics we have heard from before. We are calling them call modules. In the call text of the call modules, there may be some specific requirements for each call module, so regarding budget, size, length, partners, these must be followed. And then, very importantly, we have the national or regional requirements, which are found in Annex B of the call text, which are all the national requirements. And there may be separate submissions to the national organizations. So don't forget to look at the national requirements in Annex B. Then there are also the evaluation criteria, which are similar to Horizon Europe. So it's excellence, impact, and the quality and efficiency of the implementation. And you find the draft call text on our webpage. But as I said, it's still a draft. It's now with the Commission. And we will hopefully have a final draft by the end of the summer. So regarding the transnational eligibility criteria, you will have to submit the proposal through our submission platform. It is the coordinator that does that, but invites also the other partners who will have to fill in their forms. It has to be done before deadlines, and there are specific templates to be used, writing in English with specific margins and stuff, similar issues. For the consortia, there need to be 3 independent entities applying for funding from 3 different countries in the partnership. And of these, there must be 2 from the EU member states or associated countries. Then there may also be self-funded partners. So there is 1 coordinator, at least 2 beneficiary partners, and there could be several self-funded partners. And for all these partners, there can only be 60% from 1 single partner of the effort, which is calculated in person months. And if there are several from 1 country or region, in total, there can maximum be 75% of the total project effort to 1 country or region. Organizations that are, or individuals that are connected to the CETP partnership are ineligible for submission. There may be some exceptions, but in general, this is the case. And projects has to start before the 15th of December 2024. And the maximum duration of the projects are 36 months. And in the proposal work plan, there must be a work package called Reporting and Acknowledgement Community. And these are all the transnational eligibility criteria found also in the call text. More details about this can, of course, be found there.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And Tak, before I have one final question to you, let's see another input about the topic, or another topic of the CET partnership.
Decarbonizing the energy supply and production processes of industries is key for a carbon-free future.
The reason for this is that clean energy technologies on their own is not enough to reach Europe's 2030 and 2050 climate targets.
Electricity and hydrogen will play a significant role. And where carbon emissions cannot be avoided, CO2 shall be captured and utilized.
For example, for long lifetime products or to synthesize new fuels and chemicals.
It is also necessary to develop process solutions for integrated industrial energy systems that enables efficient carbon-neutral industry production sites, and also takes industrial energy systems into development as part of the entire energy system.
Integrated industrial power, heating and cooling systems, hybrid solutions, and novel technologies need to be developed, demonstrated, and validated.
This initiative supports decarbonization of the industrial energy systems by having a process integration perspective.
The Transition Initiative 6 is focusing on this challenge.
You and me together, we could be anything, anything.
Maria, in our both professional career, we have always been disappointed when we handed in an application and we didn't get funded. Not everybody can be funded in CETPartnership. What can be promised to those that don't get the funds?
Well, they can still join the community, the knowledge community of a CETPartnership. They can exchange info, find new collaborators by the matchmaking tool, B2Match, and still join events, similar things.
So they are
to
not completely disappointed.
No,
Thanks
and they will
again.
be able to.
Thanks again for presenting that. People out there, you will hear a lot from the call management. Thank you, Maria.
Thank you.
But after all, when we select projects, we will most probably select those that can really create impact. We have heard that. But how do we at the end really create impact? Let's listen to some need owners or people that can help creating impact. We have a nice film for you.
Europe wants to become climate neutral by 2050. To achieve this goal, all member states must significantly increase their efforts. The prerequisites for a successful transformation are new technologies and a good knowledge base. Through the cooperation of European countries and their actors, we can implement the energy transformation faster, more innovatively, and more efficiently. This also concerns the science sector in particular. Through participation in ERANET projects in the past, we have received important impulses from European partners for our scientific work, which has been very helpful for us. In my view, the Clean Energy Transition Partnership is an important initiative because it helps to accelerate the energy transition by supporting international cooperation.
Clean Energy Partnership is important because it gives visibility to platforms like ours. We are a registered digital platform provider and also a registered living lab, and therefore other interested parties can contact us for collaboration in different projects. Likewise, we're able to find other collaborators in the clean energy space.
As the EU, we have one common goal: become climate neutral by 2050 at the latest. So we also have one common goal for research and innovation, and that is why cooperation between member states, stakeholders and the European Commission is so important. For many years we have organized this cooperation through ERANET calls, but with Horizon Europe, for the first time, we are making this cooperation more structured and longer term, in a real partnership. I think this is one of the great successes of the CET plan, and it is quite unique in the EU's R&I landscape. And it is thanks to the commitment to cross-national research that you all have been driving together, going beyond individual projects, for example, through the ERANET Smart Grid Plus. So we hope that the Clean Energy Transition Partnership will allow you all to cooperate even closer, because we can only achieve climate neutrality if we work on this together.
Yes, a huge initiative such as CETPartnership has many fathers and mothers. For the national level, you have met and will meet many today. From the European Commission, one of the fathers, of course, is Mr. van Stiphout, Mark van Stiphout, who has already expressed what he likes about and what he expects from that partnership. One of the mothers is for sure Ellen Cry, and I call her on stage. Ellen is with the European Commission in the DG RTD and in a department or in a directorate that has a nice name, Clean Planet. So thanks for joining us. I'm very happy to have you here. We will mainly talk about how we can create impact with our initiative. One of the responsible persons for impact generation in CETPartnership is Tanja Suni from Click Innovation in Finland. So I call Tanja, and she is here already. Elaine, let's start together. Why does the EC support the CET and also other partnerships? What is behind?
Well, first of all, thank you for the invitation. I would like to really recap that the specificity of this partnership is that it is co-funded by national programs and by us, and the majority of the fund come from national programs. So the impact is first the cooperation with national agencies and programs, and it is very important because we pave the way, but the biggest amount comes from the national side and from the industry side. The second big impact is that you create a community which could continue and then go for deployment. And this link, this acceleration towards deployment is critical for us, because otherwise research is very nice, but will be used in 30 years and we have an emergency for the climate. And I use that question on impact to really insist that for the future, we would like to see the CET to initiate a further type of working with the member states and associated countries. We are in emergency, and as Mark said, we need to work all together. We are just here at the Commission to give the impulse and to give you a frame, but please continue also between yourselves. We will be happy to provide such a frame. I think time is running. I stop here.
Thank you for this first input. We will be back. Tanja, we keep talking about impact generation. You are sort of responsible for impact generation, but what the heck is impact?
That's a really important question, Ludwig. Impact actually means meeting an important societal need or making a desired societal change. In our case, clean energy transition. And because we are dealing with systemic transition here, for impact, we need what's called a quadruple helix approach. It means that we need to work with all four factors or actors in innovation: the academia, the industry, the policymakers, and the society, so the people.
We will dig into that, but first let's see another short video on what are we talking about in CETPartnership.
Integration is the key.
The mission of integrated regional energy systems is to bring together ecosystems for energy transition on a European level.
More and more private and municipal companies, but also communities and citizens, get interested in exchanging excess heat or self-produced solar power.
They need support to develop their own, tailor-made integrated solutions. Solutions that meet the individual regional and local requirements and demand.
Regional and local energy systems are not only infrastructure, but they also have social, political, economical, and environmental dimensions.
Leveraging synergies and flexibility potentials can make it possible to efficiently provide, host, and utilize up to 100% renewable energy in the regional supply.
The Transition Initiative 5 is focusing on developing and validating integrated regional energy systems. It develops corresponding call topics and accompanying measures.
Need owners with a challenge-driven approach is the focus of this call, where specific solutions for a regional context are brought together on a European level.
You and me together, we could be anything, anything.
Christina said it. It's integrated systems where we integrate from companies to municipalities. I think this is a bit the direction what you meant with your quadruple helix thing, these multiple dimensions. But how do we get these people in? How do we, or when do we start with that process of integrating or creating impact?
Well, in CETP, we actually started creating impact already when we wrote the original SRIA. We did it through extensive stakeholder dialogues a few years ago, and that was to identify precisely those societal needs of the need owners for clean energy transition. And impact is therefore a part of everything we do. We start in the beginning and we keep it going throughout the whole project. For instance, when we scope calls, we always have all these four actors, the academia, industry, policymakers, and society in mind. And every project is required to think about impact at design phase. Of course, projects don't need to contribute to all four dimensions, but they need to be clear on which of these actors they actually engage. So I'd say that we started with impact, with an impact angle in the beginning by looking at what Europe needs in terms of clean energy transition, and only by meeting these needs we can make impact and bring about the change.
I mean, at the end, the people need to know what to do and how to do. They need know-how or knowledge. Is there a relation between knowledge and impact generation?
Absolutely. Our impact obviously and of course is based on the knowledge, but we need to create that knowledge jointly in the project together with the stakeholders, the need owners. So we need the stakeholders there because the projects need to understand the needs that they are supposed to meet. And stakeholders also have invaluable information, complementing information that the projects need. So we co-create the knowledge in the projects with the stakeholders. Then we collect the main outcomes and messages in the knowledge community.
Okay.
And then we convey this message further. And actually, since we have vast amounts of information from the projects, we are going to use artificial intelligence to help with that. And right now, we're planning practical ways of working together with the stakeholders, the projects, the knowledge community, and impact creation.
That's ambitious.
Yeah.
Before we dig a bit more and also involve Elaine again, let's see a little film showing people that have been involved in multiple such activities and that can give us some advice.
As our world increases in complexity and interconnectedness, we cannot solve our greatest challenges in small groups, each only focusing on what is important to them. To reach our climate and energy goals and solve the energy crisis, we need to look at the energy system as a whole and find solutions that work across large economies. I'm very happy that CETPartnership is doing just that. I hope this community grows and we will see big things in the future.
Through participating in CETPartnership, we do not only see our own contribution to society, but what's even better, we can help others creating a real impact on clean energy transition.
The Clean Energy Transition Partnership is delivering, and knowledge creation goes hand in hand with the partnership, and together with the European ERI platform, are a home for European research and innovation community for innovative growth to lead the Green Deal promise.
Yes, Venizelos again mentioned this term knowledge. Tanya, are you still here?
Yes, I am.
You said something about a knowledge community. So who can join this knowledge community?
Well, funded projects, of course, but like Maria said before, also projects that didn't get funding. And we also would like to have past projects or actually projects from other programs as well, if they think that it would be beneficial for them.
Thanks for that. Elaine, quick other question. When we were talking also in other occasions, in other panels, I still remember when you said, okay, we definitely need to avoid developing knowledge that no one will adopt. Any idea, any recommendation how we can avoid reinventing the wheel? How we can avoid reinventing something that no one needs?
My mic was muted. Thank you very much for the question, because it's something which is close to our heart. In the Commission, We believe that science has a means to transfer into the technology development the condition which is to match the needs of the people. Otherwise, it's not even a question of social acceptance, it will be a social revolt. So we need to be sure that what we propose as a technology or as a process would be matching the needs of all. I mean, we speak about a just and fair transition, but too often we go to technologies which are needing too much money or are needing too much knowledge of IT or are needing too much intelligence, and that put aside a part of the population. So what we are trying to do is that we will fund part of, some expertise which will help the set plan and so help the CETP projects to embed in their work this condition to be simple, accessible, safe, useful for all. And that research can do. It's not a matter of saying words, it's a matter of providing tools concretely. And that will extend also the knowledge across the two big challenges, which are on one side the climate, but on the other side, the best use of the planet resources, minerals, but also water.
I remember you when you explained to me what is important when we develop new products. Would you repeat that? You know, the thing with the electric vehicle.
Which one? Because
you said people should not develop an electric vehicle that is fossil free and runs forever, but forget the place where I put my handbag. Is that true?
It's very true. I mean, as a woman, I have a car where I can, which was a new car, and it's a very low emission one, a big one, not diesel. I'm against, and there are 9 places to put a can, but there is not a single place to put my handbag.
So that's important. We will get
I
your
can
advice.
relate.
Thanks to Hélène. Thanks to Tanya for joining us. We will meet a lot throughout the CETPartnership live, but we are coming to an end. Not before we have heard Michele De Nigris saying something about integrating system.
We need an optimized and fully integrated net zero emission energy system.
Not only in a particular country, we need it all over Europe.
You and me together, we could be anything.
And not only with one energy carrier.
In such systems, electricity, heating and cooling, water, gas network work together to achieve a resilient and efficient infrastructure.
Networks need to provide the backbone to create the smart, reliable, and resilient energy system of the future.
This, of course, will be possible only if digital technologies and solutions are applied to supervise, control, and optimize the system.
The Transition Initiative 1 Integrated Net Zero Emissions Energy System is addressing this challenge.
Transition Initiative 1 is about integrated energy systems.
It develops appropriate call topics and accompanying activities.
Well, now we are really at the end, but I have been asked to give the word again to Maria, because Maria really wants to show what's going to happen after this day. Maria, can you show your little slide?
Yeah, I just wanted to show the call calendar that there is the opening is in 20 September, closing 22nd of November. That is the most important. And also check your national funding agency annexes to find out about potential applications that has to be sent to the national agencies. Thanks.
That was an important message. So you can apply in September, but you definitely should start now building your consortia, thinking about what you apply for. We tried to give you some important information about the what and the how and the when. I hope you enjoyed it. There will be other elements of this event. If we can quickly see the agenda. The next one starts after a little coffee break at 11, where you will get more information about this upcoming call, which will start in September. What are the topics? What are the challenges that we are in favor of? You will meet people from various funding agencies, representatives, experts. You will do that very interactively in parallel sessions. Enjoy that one. And after all, at 12, I announced it already, at 12 you can meet partners on the matchmaking platform. But first of all, grab a coffee, and while you go, or if you don't want to grab a coffee, we'll show you a nice video that has been taken by our colleague Antonio Vargas Alzaide when we met the CET Partnership Governing Board the other week. Enjoy the video and be back at 11. Thank you.
This week, in the end of May and in the beginning of June 2023, we've had our General Assembly and the Governing Board meeting of the Clean Energy Transition Partnership. The Clean Energy Transition Partnership is a collaboration between funding agencies from more than 30 countries. During this week, we have concluded on what the next call that we will soon launch will be about. The call will open now in the fall, and it will be announced already now before summer. During the meeting, we have also discussed our joint planning going forward. We are looking forward to one joint call every year for many years to come. In this work, we've discussed different thematic topics and how we should focus, but also a lot on how we organize us internally. When we are such a big collaboration with partners from more than 50 different organizations, it takes a lot of time to be collaborating and coordinating everything. And of course, we want to do this efficient so we can support the clean energy transition and the stakeholders working with the clean energy transition in a good way.
It was our fourth General Assembly and Governing Board meeting here in Uppsala in Sweden, and 100 people from more than 50 funding agencies all over Europe were meeting each other, and it was only the second time that all these people were meeting in person. We are now already working for more than 2 years together, mostly online, and it's really a wonderful experience that all these people have managed to work together so intensely, having already brought out one joint call for projects successfully last year, and now we are working on our second call, and we have only met 2 times in person. But it was really a great experience that we could be together and we could feel this innovative and creative spirit that this large group has. It is, I think, the biggest network of public funding institutions in the field of energy innovation in the world.